Hi, it's me, Wilma Fingerdoo, with the Fingerdoo review of RuPaul's Drag Race UK Season 3, Episode 7, if you can believe it. But before I get started, I just want to thank some tipper-doos. First off, I don't only want to thank April Holden for her recent tipper-doo, but I also want to wish her a speedy recovery and a happy move. Who had surgery and moves during a pandemic? Seriously, April. You don't like to do anything by half measures, do you? Anyway, I hope the move went well. I hope you recover from your surgery beautifully, and I hope you're staying healthy and out of trouble besides, because, you know, I don't think you need any extra drama in your life right now. Seriously. I also want to thank Catherine McGreechin, who popped by. Thanks, doll. I hope all's well with you. Austin, England also dropped by with a tipper-doo and asked for a cocktail suggestion. Well, seeing as it's the holiday season, I think a tequila and ginger cran is in order. And if you can't get cranberry and ginger ale pre-mixed, then mix it yourself. Who cares? As long as there's tequila in it. Seriously. I get my cran ginger ale from Canada Dry. Every season, holiday season, they do a ginger and cran combo. And I'm Canadian, so I have to drink this one. Of course, I also want to thank my sweet baboo, Vito. I love you, Vito, and I hope you're doing well as well. And for the first time, I got a tipper-doo through my Linktree. If you've ever visited my Linktree through Instagram or wherever, I have a link to my tipper-doo account there. And this week, Fuchsia Flamingo broke the seal. Who better, I ask you? Thanks so much, Fuchsia. I'm sending you my love right back at you. Seriously. I also have a couple of Redbubble models to thank. Well, not the models themselves, but location. Specifically, this is April Holden's kitchen, her new kitchen, and she's got her 3 Wilma Pride mugs decked out looking fabulous. And this is James Montgomery's file cabinet in his office, which he's decked out in Wilma stickers, specifically Larda Souza's Anti-Wilma and Denise Cherneau's Wilma Railroad. Thanks for sharing, James, seriously. And don't forget, all of the proceeds I receive for Wilma Railroad go directly to Rainbow Railroad, a fabulous Canadian charity that helps our LGBTQIA plus brothers and sisters escape persecution in countries without discrimination laws and get to kinder, gentler shores. If you'd like to see the Wilma Railroad range, the link is down below, as well as a link to Rainbow Railroad itself, so you can see what this great charity does and possibly donate to them directly. Seriously. Now, Jorge, drink me! Oh, look at this. Speaking of cranberry ginger with tequila. It's a lot of tequila, I'm just going to say. I love it. Okay, so let's get to it. As always, we kick this episode off by saying goodbye to the latest Drag Race casualty. Well, this week it was a double hit and run, as the queens said goodbye to both Choriza and River. Well, not all the queens. Some left evilly as they waved them a fond farewell. Vanity Milan. Right away, the queens compared notes on the lip sync. Kitty couldn't believe Choriza fighting with that wig, and Crystal apologized to the entire world that they had to watch that train wreck. Isn't that nice of Crystal, thinking of others? Ella was sad to see them go, but she got over it pretty damn quick, knowing that she had won the Snatch game. Sad, but not sorry. Apparently, that's what you get for doubting Ella's sense of humor. I'm just saying. Vanity was starting to be sick and tired being safe all the time. Safe all the time? Wasn't she lip-syncing for her life episode 2 and 3? I'd hardly call that safe all the time. We're in episode 7. At best, that's safe recently. Vanity really is vain, isn't she? Of course, sitting next to Kitty, Vanity's lament fell on deaf ears. Kitty felt so close to winning a badge last week that she could taste it, but was at least able to say that her critiques have been lovely. What wasn't lovely was Vanity asking, then why no badge? Scarlett pointed out that making Rue laugh is the most important thing in the competition, and she felt that she and Kitty made Rue laugh the most. Did anyone else feel the chill coming off of that shade that Kitty and Scarlett were throwing at Ella? They must really be threatened by her upward trajectory. Personally, I love an upward trajectory because it was my drag queen name in high school. The shade wasn't lost on Ella, who defended her skill set beautifully. So much so that Kitty changed the subject by saying it was time to get out of drag. Coward. The next day in the workroom, the top 5 queens were in a good mood, which is nice because They usually don't last long, those moods, do they? Point of fact, Ella and Crystal flaunting their double badges. Kitty was still singing her Who Needs Badges anthem, poor thing. She was still feeling slighted for not winning Snatch Game and took her ire out on Miss Vanity by shading her range of synthetic wigs. I wear synthetic wigs. What's wrong with that, I should like to know? Seriously. Thank goodness Rue's video message broke that bitch fest up, or someone was going to get slapped. Seriously. This week's message threw all the queens for a loop as she talked about getting drop dead ugly. As she was talking about dispositions, I think a few of those queens were already there. When Rue arrived into the workroom, all was made clear as she announced that they were having a ball. The Miss Fugly beauty pageant, to be precise. And in this case, Rue said Fugly stood for friends, you gotta love yourself. Well, that's a stretch, I'm just gonna say. Crystal took it to mean making something ugly look good. And she doesn't do ugly, unless it's a snatch game. Seriously. And this wasn't just any pageant. The queens had to race against the clock. They wouldn't know what category was up next until the moment before each presentation. Their first category was Fugly swimwear. They had 69 minutes to pull their look and makeup together and hit that runway. Obviously, the queens were gagged. Lord knows I was gooped. As the queens got Fugly, Kitty asked if anyone had been trolled online. Who has time for chit-chat? 69 minutes, people! Seriously. Of course, they all had. Well, everyone but Vanity. But I'll bet that's changing as the show progresses, I'm just saying. Kitty said it had never bothered her because she was raised to feel good about herself and her body. Crystal admitted to being more confident in drag as she can hide all the things she's insecure about herself being a boy. She loves being a sexy, curvy woman because she's never had sex with anyone. Wow, you could have knocked me and the queens over with a feather. The one queen on RuPaul's Drag Race that oozes sex for me is Crystal. She's been so focused on her drag career that she's actually not going to let a little bouncy get in her way, but still. You only get one life. You got to have some fun sooner or later. Seriously. And then the queens were interrupted by Rue's voice over the loudspeaker, saying they only had 10 minutes left. Well, that shut them up and kicked their padded asses into high gear. Seriously. Amazingly, they all made it out to the runway where Rue was waiting for them in a gorgeous retro sequin gown that was right up my alley. Seriously, I'm always pleased to see Rue as a redhead. Michelle Visage was also there ready to judge the Fugly, as was my British boyfriend Alan Carr, and joining them on the judges panel, the far from Fugly singer Alicia Dixon. And then it was time for the runway. Vanity was first down the catwalk in a yellow quilted one-piece. I don't know if I would call Vanity's look Fugly. At best, it was meh, which, to be honest, is a look I'm starting to get used to seeing where Miss Milan is concerned. I'm just saying. So I gave her a finger don't. Kitty was next, and I don't think I stopped laughing the whole time she was on that catwalk. From her walk to the expression and all points in between, I thought she was hilarious. And that bathing suit had so many patterns on it, I thought it was coming right for me. Seriously. This was an easy Fingerdoo. Easy Fingerdoo was also my drag queen name in high school. Scarlett was next, and I think the fuggliest thing about her runway was the expression on her face, because we all know there are cat lovers out there right now wondering where to get a bathing suit with cats all over it right now. Still, she got a Fingerdoo for me, just by a whisker though. Ella Viday's runway wasn't as fugly as I'd have liked it to be. Her body was too perfect for fugly. I'd have loved to have seen her unpadded with a shuffling walk instead of that strut. So I gave her a finger don't. I know, don't hate me. I know that Crystal's 19-year-old mind thought that this was a fugly ensemble, but to be honest, I thought it was stunning. As Crystal herself said, she was giving grunge. She was giving filth. But for me, she wasn't giving fugly. It was so conceptual and ready to be photographed that I had to give her a finger don't as well, because I loved it too much. Seriously. And then the queens were told the second category, charity shop chic. The queens had to incorporate 5 items in their final look from the charity shop that was set up backstage, and they only had 60 minutes to do it. Surprising them backstage was charity shop Sue herself, Selena Malinsky, who had a few words of encouragement before the queen started picking through the racks. Needless to say, after her snatch game last week, Crystal was gagged. As the queens rummaged the racks for their looks, Sue kept reminding them of how little time they had and how much they still had to do. Her philosophy is more, but the queens were so frazzled that they could have used less of Sue. And she's a celebrity. Rude. Finally, ready or not, the queens had to return to the catwalk. Kitty was first in a chartreuse mini and lavender cardi. I have to say, I really like this look. Kitty looked good in her updo, so I had to give the whole thing a Fingerdoo. Crystal Versace looked okay in her velvet romper, but to be honest, most of her charity shop pieces were jewelry. Still, I gave her a Fingerdoo. Ella Vidae said her look was coming from a boardroom meeting, but to be honest, it looked like she just finished her shift as a hostess of a family restaurant. I wonder if her throwing that stole away brought her charity shop count down to 4. Still, it was fugly enough for a Fingerdoo for me. Just saying. The worst thing about Vanity's look was that wig. Unless she grabbed it out of one of the charity shop bins, then it was gorgeous. The dress itself made her shoulders look even bigger than they are, so I had to give it a Fingerdoo. Scarlett's little black sequin dress was all right. She looked good, but I was hard-pressed to see 5 items on her whole body. I mean, dress, belt, necklace. Oh, and those 2 bracelets. Okay, that's 5. So she gets a Fingerdoo. Then Ru gave the queens their last runway category, fashionably fugly, and they had 30 minutes to do it. Needless to say, the queens got the lead out. Where they found the time to talk about onstage mishaps, I'll never know. Vanity said her wig came off on stage once. Came off or committed suicide? Scarlett almost took someone's eye out when one of her shoes went flying off, and Kitty told of the time she was lip-syncing against a customer at brunch and the woman's boob fell out. Yikes. And then Ru's voice over the loudspeaker kicked all their padded butts into high gear. First down the runway was Ella Vidae. I'm still not sure what she had on, but it most certainly was the fuggliest thing I've ever seen. But was it fashion? Sure. I've seen worse made by better, so I gave her a Fingerdoo. Next up was Vanity Milan in another fashionably fugly look. Did I like it? No. Was it fashion? Yeah, sure. And she sold the hell out of it, so Fingerdoo for Vanity. Crystal was next, and I just loved her look so much. I love a geometric wig, and that coat. Oh, I loved how tightly cinched it was at the waist. Fingerdoo for Crystal. Seriously. Scarlett was next in a hot pink and leopard tracksuit. Did I like it? No. Was it fashion? Not in the least, so I had to give her a Fingerdoo. I know Michelle's going to kill me. Finally, we had Kitty Scott Claus in a jumper that put Karen on Will and Grace's I Loves Me Kitty t-shirt to shame. And she wasn't done there. Oh no, there was a reveal. Did I like it? Yes. Was it fashion? Nerd chic is big right now, so I'm going to have to say yes, which all adds up to a Fingerdoo from yours truly, just saying. And then it was time for the judges' critiques. Kitty was first. Michelle loved how much fun Kitty was having on the runway, especially in her swimwear look. Alicia loved her attention to detail in all her looks, and Alan felt her second look really encapsulated a charity shop outfit. All in all, it was a good night for Miss Kitty. Then Ru asked her whose look on stage, other than her own, did she like the most? Well, Kitty picked Scarlett's runway. Okay. Vanity was next. Michelle didn't like her swimsuit look, and, well, she wasn't really alone. Her charity shop look was a crowd pleaser, but Alicia loved her final look, and Michelle said her final look was her fave of the night. She just hoped it wasn't too late for Vanity. Well, with those ominous words ringing in her ears, Ru asked Vanity whose look was her favorite. She said it was Kitty's. Scarlett was next, and Michelle liked her crazy cat lady swimsuit. Alan felt her charity shop look was safe. Alicia didn't think Scarlett's final look was fashion, but it had all of Michelle's favorite colors in it, pink and leopard. And who was Scarlett's favorite look? Well, she said Kitty, but not before throwing Crystal under the bus by pointing out that she looked like Anubis in that wig. The shade. Ella Vidae was next, and Michelle loved her swimsuit, but thought it could have fit her a little better in the back. Well, if I had a nickel. Alicia thought Ella could have pushed all of her looks a little further. While Alan liked her charity shop ensemble, he was really impressed by Ella's final runway. He said it was Lady Gaga doing the washing in a gay bar in Scotland. When Ru asked Ella who her fave outfit of the day was, Ella said Vanity Milan. Good for Ella. Finally, it was Crystal Versace's turn. Alan was expecting her swimsuit look to be another blonde glamour look, so her Swamp Thing look impressed the hell out of him. Michelle thought she played it safe with her charity shop look, and Alicia thought her final look nailed it. When asked, Crystal said Ella's look was her favorite. I'm not surprised. I think she's got the hots for Miss Ella, I'm just saying. Back in the Untucked Lounge, all the queens were knackered. 3 looks on the fly in one day? I'm not surprised. Vanity asked Crystal if she was okay. She was put out that no one picked her outfit as a fave. She also wasn't pleased at Scarlett comparing her wig to Anubis. All the queens complimented Crystal for her ability to put on 3 different faces, even if it was a bit of a backhanded compliment. And then the big question was asked by Ella. Who would be lip-syncing? Vanity was sure she would be, but she was very happy that her husband would see her wearing her final runway on TV. Ella thought Scarlett would be lip-syncing. I'm surprised that Scarlett didn't rip Ella a new one right then and there. She seemed to be happy that if she was going to lip-sync, it would be in an outfit that she loved. I'd rather not lip-sync at all, I'm just saying. Back on the main stage, it was announced that Kitty Scott Claus was this week's winner, and boy, am I glad she said winning a Rue Peter badge wasn't important, because by the way she received the news, if it were important, she would have exploded right then and there. Sadly, but not surprisingly, Vanity and Scarlett were in the bottom. They had to lip sync to Alicia's girl group Mystique's Scandalous, and since both queens had won 2 lip syncs before, I wasn't sure how this was going to go. Well, until Vanity dropped the quilted trapeze dress to reveal a gold chain-encrusted leotard. And then I was worried for Scarlett. Then Vanity did the splits, and I knew it was over for Scarlett once and for all. In fact, Vanity kept getting better and better during this lip sync, to the point that I just stopped watching Scarlett altogether. I'm so serious. So, when the music died, I wasn't surprised that Vanity shantaed, and it was our Miss Scarlett who sashayed away. Bless. So, only 4 queens left. Were the right queens in the bottom? Did the right queen go home? I hear a lot of people supposing that Rue will bring an eliminated queen back to the competition. Well, if she does, it better be next week. What about you? Do you think someone will come back? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And while you're down there, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And if you'd like to support my channel, there are links in the description box below. Until next week, miss me! Mwah! Seriously. Oh my God, Jorge, what a whirlwind. Clearly the queens came with 2 charity shop looks, the swimsuit and the final look. So all they had to deal with was their makeup, really, more or less, and changing outfits. But putting together a charity shop look in an hour and change your face? Crystal knocked me out. I can't believe not only that she changed, well, that she started by gluing stuff on her face. I mean, what the heck? But that she was able to get the glue off and then reapply those faces. She is a master, I'm telling you. Raven better watch out. I'm so serious. What do you think of Vanity? I know that she's getting better, but I still feel that she somehow or another dodged a bullet there. I'm surprised she made it this far. No offense to her. She just doesn't really impress me. I mean, she's starting to now, but up until now, we're in episode 7. I'm shocked Scarlett when everyone thought Scarlett was Rue's favorite and was going to be ushered into the winner's circle. So at least there's one theory shot to hell. I'd like to see it go down to Ella versus Kitty, just because I think of the 4 queens left, they have the most experience and are the most polished. I wouldn't be upset if any of the 4 were in the top 3, but I have a feeling that Vanity might be next, or it could be Crystal, which would goop a lot of people. But her age is starting to show. Her lack of experience is starting to show. Seriously. I don't like things showing. People don't need to know that much about me. It's a thing.